Hey everybody, I want to do a techno tutorial. So first we're going to start out with my template, which is here, and I uploaded a copy of it to my Patreon. It just has a mixer, a clock dividers. It has a sidechain effect on the sends. So they duck every time the kick hits, and then we have an LFO with a slew limiter to smooth it out, and a compressor and a limiter in the output, and an EQ over here. And so I'm going to start off with the well, there's many different kinds of techno, but one that I like doing is techno, kind of like a deeper techno with a rumble kick. So I use the 4MS kick here, and I gotta trigger that with this quarter note here, and then let's send it to the mixer. And then what I do is I take this is one way to make rumble. Some people use noise, some people use other ways of making rumble. You don't even need to use rumble, but I'll take the output of the kick to the delay, and then take a reverb like this synthesizers.com reverb, take the signal, the wet signal from the delay, and then if you look here, I always use this delay thing if you don't have a clock that can do can synchronize or anything like that. I always use this to check. So 128 BPM. It looks like I know from doing this before that 352 milliseconds is a good time to line up with the triplet eighth note, whatever that's called. I don't know. 0.352. So then that's going to bounce inside this reverb, and we're going to send the rumble, and we're going to turn up the drive and amount. And then you take this, we can delete this, now we don't need that. But so here we have this inverted envelope, and we're setting it to our sends, our send levels. But I also want to take the inverted envelope and send it to the volume of the rumble. So every time the kick hits, you hear the rumble after it. So that's how I do the kick and the rumble for techno. Then I'm going to go on to show how you could do some sequencing to get some interesting sounds. Maybe have like a short sequence that you want to repeat over and over. Let's say like ADDR. Let's take this. Let's connect it to the clock for 16th notes. Randomize it. Select that. Go forward. Let's not set that. Let's just trigger it on the. Actually, what I like to do usually with any kind of drum or synth voice is send it to Spank. It's a great envelope, and it's a built-in VCA. So let's do that. Let's take the trigger from the 16 notes. Let's make it 7 steps. Yeah, I did that. So we're going there, and then we're going right to the. Okay, let's change it to 2 operator FM. And then the pitch is too high, so let's change the range to 0 to 1. And then let's go down an octave here. And let's pull up a random module. It's this one, the VCV one. And every time we trigger this, we want a random voltage to go here for this, and a random voltage out the knobs to the inputs here. So this input goes to that knob, this input goes to that knob, and then we connect. Let's turn down the decay. And then what we can do is have the decay open up over time. So let's set this to like 30%, and then take this, connect it to the slew output. The LFO is connected to the slew. Okay, so that one is the FM voice. Then we can turn on the reverb. Kind of makes it a little darker. You can even sidechain it again by copying over that. And then we could, so that's a 7-step sequence, yeah. And then that's going there. And then we're doing that. You could also take the FM operator here, the 2 operator FM, whatever it's called, and you could take this, slowly modulate it too. I'll just turn this down for now so it's not so crazy here. Then do this, so yeah, they're already mapped. So we slowly modulate this. So we turn this down, turn all these way down. And then we send it to the mixer. Just that slow modulation. Using the same voice. On top of that, just so it doesn't get so crazy all the time. So let's do that. So we add a low pass filter, and then take the cutoff and go to the slew, and take the resonance and go to the random module. And now you can hear it slowly building up. It'll expand and get louder as this LFO goes around. Let's turn this down a little bit. So one thing we could do is add in kind of like a synth line in here, or a bass. So maybe just like grid sec. And then let's use FM op for the bass. Turn it down a couple octaves here. And just go bright on the 16th notes. So gate, volt per octave. Output goes to the mixer. And the key is we don't want anything that's too much of a pitch variance. You want small pitch changes or no changes. top row here.